You know, people seem to think it funny. Shakespeare can't make any money. With managers, will his name is mud. There's far too little killing, and his plays are rarely thrilling. One thing's been established since the flood. Every Bruton hero is like the fiddler Nero, likes to get his pleasure out of blood. Even Portia spoils my luck when she interferes with Shylock. Why should they nip a murder in the bud? Twelfth Night and Midsummer's Dream, too much sugar stuff and cream. Falstaff was a silly sort of flatterer. And the Taming of the Shrew is simply what I always do. I don't like Antony and Cleopatra. As for Julius Caesar, he's a crazy sort of geezer, although I hate a man who knocks the girl apart. Well, I will admit Othello is a pretty decent fellow, for I like to see a murder when I'm out. Because Macbeth's the best show of the lot. What a wonderful review. I'll tell you the whole story. It won't take more than an hour and a half. When the curtain first goes up, there's a filthy field. A blasted heath. And in the middle of the blasted heath are three dirty old ladies standing. We'll call them DOL in future. Dirty old ladies. They're standing there. Macbeth comes in having won a huge battle. As soon as the DOL see him, they say, "Beware the Ides of March. You'll receive a letter from a tall gentleman and you're going on a long journey." And they cut the cards again. They tell him that he's going to be King of Scotland. He's very bucked about this. Gets on his bicycle and goes to the nearest post office and sends off a wire to his wife. That's Lady Macbeth. She was knighted for war work against the Picts or something. Well, while all this is going on in the mucky meadow, blasted heath, Lady Macbeth is entertaining Duncan. He's the present King of Scotland, and he's staying up there for the grouse shooting. Oh, yes. I mean, Lady Macbeth was a very ugly woman. He's definitely staying there for the grouse shooting. And a sergeant, frightfully wounded, bleeding in every pore, thereafter known as the bleeding sergeant, dashes in, and nothing against the man at all, dashes in and he tells Duncan what marvellous things Macbeth has been doing at both points of his battle axe. Thereupon, Duncan decides to give Macbeth the croix de guerre as soon as he rolls up, and to make him Queen of the May. A little later on, Macbeth himself comes in, gives his bicycle clips to a page, and Lady Macbeth gets Macbeth into her boudoir and says, "What about it?" Meaning about what the DOL told him on the poisonous prairie, blasted heath. So he says, "Well, Lady Macbeth," no, Doris he called her. He said, "Well, Doris, the only way in which I can become king myself is by killing the present king, Duncan. And he's a guest in our house, and the man has broken salt at our table and thrown bread over his left shoulder, and I don't like to do it." Anyway, she persuades him, and he goes up and he kills Duncan. And the next day they make him king, and then Banquo gets killed. And Lady Macbeth falls downstairs on her nut. She was a bit cracked before. And then Macbeth gets the wind up. He only wore a kilt. So he goes back to this vile felt, blasted heath. And he finds the DOL running around a tripod. You know a tripod, the thing they win at Oxford and Cambridge. They tell him he needn't to have the wind up at all because he himself cannot possibly be killed by anybody who had a proper mother. Well, he knows that everybody had a proper mother, so he dashes back to his battlement, and Lily-livered Loon, a cousin of his, comes in and says, "Look out! Macduff approacheth with trees in his boots." Macbeth doesn't mind. When Macduff comes in, he says, "Lead on, Macduff." Macduff leads the fourth highest of his longest suit. No, that's another story. Macduff says, "I'm going to slay thee." Macbeth says, "You can't, because I cannot be killed by anybody who had a proper mother." So Macduff says, "Well, that's no good, because I was brought by a stork like Julius Caesar." So you see, the DOL were right. But Romeo and Juliet acted rather weak and wet. Tempest is a silly sort of story. Hamlet's uncles, I hear, poured poison in his father's ear, and the last act is comparatively gory. But that merchant chap of Venice and King Harry and his tennis pleased lesser mortals. But without a doubt, when Macbeth murdered Banquo, it just appealed to Ronald Frankau. For I like to see a murder when I'm out.